We talk about what you miss, what you can have, what kind of stresses go along with having a kid. Waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning to change a diaper, and then waking up at 5 again, and then again at 7, and then again at 9 for months at a time is usually not what a 13, 14, or 15-year-old is ready for.
As a social worker, I feel Morrisania 10456 is really about getting teens to communicate with one another. It provides a positive environment where they feel very comfortable about sharing information and talking about what it is to be a teen.
It was created because the New York State Department of Health understood through statistics that the South Bronx had a very high rate of young people, mostly teenage girls, having unplanned pregnancies, and they wanted to try to help out with that.
A program like Morrisania 10456 helps to prevent pregnancies because it teaches them about their bodies, where a lot of children are not exposed to what's going on to their bodies. They don't really understand what's happening. And this program really takes the time to teach them what's going on with their bodies, why it's happening, what's going on, and to make them feel comfortable about it, that it's nothing to be ashamed of or scared of. It's something that everybody goes through.
The Morrisania 10456 program is very supportive of the teachers because it's like an auxiliary body that provides services for students that we really can't do, because very often we will get involved with the student, they'll talk to us about a situation, and we may have 2, 3, 4 more classes coming at the next time, and because we have this program here, it gives us an outlet where we can refer these students to someone who can help them deal with it and can help them meet with groups of youngsters dealing with the same type of situation.
Morrisania 10456, kids have the opportunity to learn alternatives in dealing with their typical situations in school. And Morrisania gives them a way and an outlet as to dealing with their problems.
In the Discovery program, it teaches kids about stress, self-esteem, conflict resolution, and trouble that we might have around the streets and stuff.
The one thing that attracts the students to our program is the egg project, which actually has become the flour sack project now because they complain so much that the eggs break so easily, it wasn't realistic enough. So we graduated to flour sacks, and what they do is they take them home, they treat it like a baby, they keep it for a week, they bring it back, and what they bring back with it is the birth certificates, the evaluation forms that they get evaluated by their parents, their brothers or sisters, whoever, and they get a chance to see what it's like to manage their time and their money once they have a baby, so that they can get a sense of what it would actually be like. And all of them usually come back saying that it's pretty hard, it would be very hard to manage right now, and the money would, they wouldn't have the money to do it, so that they would wait to actually have a baby.
The part of Morrisania 10456 that I thought was the best was the part where we had a project, and for a week we had to carry around an egg and pretend like it was our baby. We had to take care of it. We had to make sure that the egg didn't fall because it was supposed to be a real baby.
The summer camp that we have is for 6th graders and 7th graders that are new to the school, and it was a great chance for them to meet the students coming into the school and have a lot of fun and learn about these issues together.
I've seen my son actually benefit from the fact that he has more information, he seems more mature, and he understands that there's a lot of dangers out there. As a parent, it's very hard to explain to your children fully about sex education. And if someone can help you do that, that's great.
It talks about everything. It talks about communication. It talks about respect. It talks about leadership. It covers the whole spectrum. It doesn't concentrate on just one thing, but I do like that it does touch the subject of sex, because a lot of parents cannot talk to their children about it, and it's good that the children have someone else or someone else they can turn to for questions they might have that they don't understand.
People take for granted that all parents sit down and talk to their kid and give them hugs and give them love. One thing that we help parents do is understand that they can hug their child, they can talk to their kids about sex, that they should know what's going on in their kids' lives, and that love is very important.
It helped me communicate better with my mother, because I really never used to talk to her a lot, but sometimes if I have problems, I go and ask her if I could talk to her, and she would find the time to talk to me.
Well, the added benefit of Mara Senior is that I have seen, since the program has been in effect, a decrease in the pregnancy rate. This program has provided a lot of information for 8th grade girls that they can take with them into high school. High school is a very difficult time, and that's a time when they have to decide good choices over bad choices.
I don't think I would have been a teen parent at the age that I was if they had such a program as this that educate the children, speak to them about it very openly. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's just the facts of life.
Our evaluation of Teen Choice has shown that Teen Choice does work. It increases students' knowledge of abstinence, pregnancy and disease prevention. It increases their sense of self-worth. It improves their communication and their relationships with parents and others in their lives. And it helps them learn how to say no to sex in any circumstance they might face.
The program teaches children how to grow up and how to live.
This program is a good way to keep teenagers off the streets, because if teenagers have something more positive to do with their time, then they wouldn't be on the streets doing negative things.
Mauritania program is one of the best programs that I've heard. I've seen the pamphlets, I've read what my son is doing in this program, and I think it's excellent.
I see a lot of the differences in attitudes and in how kids carry themselves. There's been a lot of kids that I've been working with, say, since last year. And I can see the changes that they've made in regards to how they see themselves, how they see their world, how they see their community, where they never looked at the community per se, but just themselves. Helping them to understand that there's more than just the Bronx. There's also a whole universe out there, not just to see things from your block, but see your world.
I learned a lot about what's going on in my own community through the eyes of teenagers. I'm not that much older than some of the kids that have come through the doors, but sometimes I feel that way, being in business and kind of being stuck in a very structured environment. To learn how to let down your hair and open up a little bit and play has helped me and has helped my business.
It's impacted me in an aspect that I saw the world in a different way. I became a broader person, open to suggestion and many things out there. I have actually influenced myself as well as others because of Lewis and the coworkers that I've dealt with during the summer of '97. And it's moved me on to wanting to succeed in college and get my bachelor's in programming.
The most memorable experience at Skyline was at my last ceremony that we did, the presentation of the awards, and just to see the expression on the kids' faces and the parents' faces of how proud they were of what they've done and what they've accomplished, and that's, wow, breathtaking.
Skyline has impacted my life where it was something that, at the time, I wasn't very happy in high school, and it was just a lot of fun. It made me like high school again.
Lewis is crazy. My man is off the hook, so to speak. He's real, he's blunt, he doesn't bite his tongue when necessary, though. That's my heart. That's my next heart right there. He's a great man. He's definitely one to be around. Big time influence to everyone.
The goals that all students share is that we want to graduate, we want to make our parents happy, we want to make ourselves happy, and we want to go on to college.
Mainstream kids get the impression of some special ed students because they think they're dumb or crazy because they're in that program. It's just not the case. If they talk to them instead of judging them, maybe they'll understand, say, hey, he's not dumb, he's a regular old Joe.
Special ed students in my classroom are not treated differently, and every student is treated in the same way.
When you're saying special ed students, it's a label that's given to certain students, but everybody has their own special gifts. You know, when you come into a class, whether it be my class, which happens to be phys ed, or you know, any class, if you're there and the information is put forth to you, however you absorb it, you still have equal chances. So I would say special ed kids and mainstream kids get the same out of my class, hopefully, because I try not to distinguish between anyone.
Defining what special ed is, which is it's not just for people who have learning disabilities. It could be people who have emotional problems. It has to do with the way people learn, the way they perceive information, the way they gather information. It involves all of those things. And I found that for myself, even though I have been teaching mixed classes for quite a long time, I needed a lot more information about how do you help a student who is in special ed, who has learning disabilities, to learn at the same pace or learn the best way that they can learn. Because one of the things I learned is there are different learning styles. And in order to be successful with this, you need to teach to the different learning styles. Basically, the integrated process is the combining in an academic class of students who are in special ed with students who are in regular ed. And another part of the integration is that you have a special education teacher as well as a general education teacher working together to teach the class.
We're students, we just want to learn. You know, we want to be with other kids. We don't want to be separated. You know, like labels, special ed or mainstream. That's labeling us right there because you putting a line right between us.
I don't really think by looking at a student you could tell whether they're mainstream or special ed. I mean, no matter what grade level or what kind of level you're at in school, you can't tell apart. You can't tell them apart unless they have probably physical disabilities, you know, but even with that, you can't even tell them apart.
Yes, I have been in the class of special ed students. I am in one right now, and I feel the same because they act just like us. I really don't even know who is special ed in our class because my teacher really don't tell us.
And so they didn't want words.
It's good that the classes should be mixed because nobody knows who is who, and then you have a better chance and you can learn, even though the work could be complicated, but if you ask for the help, you will get the help.
I love classes that mix special ed students with mainstream students, and I know that I'm one of the few teachers who asks for the classes to be mixed. For me, it presents quite a challenge, and for the students, I think it is a wonderful opportunity because they move away from that label of being special ed students.
You really have to combine different methods. Many teachers are used to just standing in front of the classroom and giving the information out and writing on the board. That doesn't work in an integrated class. Because you have different learning styles, you have to vary the way that you produce or present the information.
The particular class that I teach, called Children's Literature, I don't give tests. It's not that type of class. It's a project-based class. So nothing is adapted. All students are given the same types of projects or assignments. I feel very strongly that my classes challenge me with a mixture of special ed and regular ed students because it is a challenge for me every single day to make sure that I'm meeting the needs of every single student and making sure that I can be certain that all students are reaching their potential and feeling good about themselves.
For me, I treat everybody as an individual. You know, I don't see special ed students as special people. They're just people that have, you know, different needs and they approach things differently.
What I like about integrated classes is that we could see how the mainstream and the special ed kids work together, what they have to go through and what we have to go through. I think it's a good learning experience for everybody.
I treat all students equally because I feel all students have an opportunity to learn and can learn, even if it means changing the style of learning for them.
Integrated classes do work. They give everybody a chance to learn about each other, learn about other cultures, and you know, just to get along as people and not look at people as labels.
In my classroom, I like to treat all students equally, so special ed students would be treated the same as anyone else.
Mixing special ed students with mainstream students is just, you know, it's a reflection of the city that we live in. Everybody's mixed, no one has labels, and you all pull in the same direction. I try to educate everybody because everybody comes in with preconceived ideas of what labels are. The mainstream come in with their ideas, special ed comes in with their ideas, and what I try to do is get rid of the labels. So if there's a challenge involved, that's the challenge that I have, of getting rid of the labels and having everybody, again, just see the people as opposed to the labels and the exterior.
Integrated classes are very good because it gives everyone the opportunity to work with one another. It gives everyone an opportunity to get to know each other and see what they're all about, whether they have a learning disability or not. Because I feel that we all have some type of weakness, whether we're in mainstream or in special ed.
I think that all integrated classes work together, you know, because everybody can learn from everybody else's experiences.
Take it to the prom. Whenever I hear a student say something that's very negative about special education, I feel very bad because what shows up is the ignorance. And I wish that there was a way to educate people as to what special ed is, and then maybe they wouldn't be as insensitive as they are.
I think both special ed and mainstream deserve the same educational opportunity. We all deserve it.
I could do anything that I want to. My mother always told me that you can be anything that you want to be.
I think it's time for us to share the wealth, to share that knowledge. There's a lot of communities out there, and there's a lot of young people out there. It's not just us here in this fine city of ours. I would love to see other people benefit, other young people benefit from the kinds of things that our kids here have learned. I think that's important.
I've given a lot to my community. I've gone on to be a coach. I represent a program, an athletic program that teaches younger kids, blacks and Hispanics, how to promote themselves, how to go about the way their business, not only athletically, but educationally, and it's inspired me. This program, Skyline program, has inspired me to carry out that legacy that Luis Borrego has done.
After Skyline Community, right now I'm going to school in January to Norfolk State, but right now I'm working in a law firm in Midtown as a paralegal assistant. And actually, when I get to college, I want to start my own Skyline and have that as I want to be that type of Renaissance guy.
It makes me feel good and proud of what I do now and where I'm going and where I know I'm going. It's brought definite goals that I know I want to seek out there. It means a lot.